G'day, AJ. How are ya?
How you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. We're another episode down.
Oh,
Loving it.
yes. So, welcome to another episode of Songs on the Couch.
Sitting down, we're talking out. Breaking it down, songs on the couch. Music and minds will figure it out. Laughing and learning what it's all about. On the couch.
Yay!
I can just hear all the people going, yeah, so this is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, before we get started, I need
Yeah.
to ask you the next question of what song we're bringing
Okay.
on over to the couch today, because last episode we didn't introduce the song properly, and sideline
No,
sideline Sally, she got salty.
she was not happy at all. She's like, where am I supposed to put the intro and the song? I'm like, whoops, just chuck it at the start. It'll be fine.
She mad.
Yeah, she was.
She was mad at our shenanigans. So we better rectify that this episode. So could you tell?
Don't mess with someone who has OCD.
No, do not mess with that. Well, she's got the pop psychology version of OCD. It's not taken over her
She
life.
does. No,
No,
that's it.
she's thorough. What she is diligent, and thorough
Absolutely.
is what she is.
And we're grateful
Oh,
for it.
look, you wouldn't find better.
No,
We're
no,
yeah, we're going to
absolutely not.
keep her. She's that good. I think we
so.
should keep
I
her.
think so.
No refunds, no returns, not
No,
required.
no.
So tell me, AJ, aka Drum Chucks,
Oh, there's a lot of pressure on this one.
what song are we bringing on over to the couch today? Boom, boom.
Boom, boom. We are bringing on not one of his, I would say, most famous songs that everyone knows, but it's I would say it's definitely up there. Is Pressure by Mr. Billy Joel. Last episode, I kept mistaking Billy Joe Armstrong for Billy Joel, and I thought, well, in this episode, we have to do a Billy Joel song.
Nice
And
segue.
nice segue. And I guess I've got a, correction corner myself here. The reason that I thought we should do this song is because the album that this song comes off, the Nylon Curtain, I thought it was a concept album about, post-Vietnam War trauma and the pressures of fitting back into society, which was fitting to Boulevard of Broken Dreams with everything that happened with the
9/11.
Iraq War and 9/11.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I got schooled on that, didn't I?
Well, only because I've recently watched the Billy Joel documentary and had
Yes, which I'm still.
you must watch. It's on HBO Max. I'm actually not really a Billy Joel fan, but I am a fan of documentaries and documentaries about people. So I had a few ideas about some of the songs on this particular album based on that documentary, and I was like, I think we need to fact check that one. I think AJ needs some schooling.
Well, look, it's not necessarily a concept album per se, but each song has themes that fall within a concept.
Like it's
Not necessarily to do with the Vietnam War, but
No.
it's
it's
they're all covering heavy themes.
yeah, like cultural
Like-
concepts, like things that were going on culturally and socially at the time.
disillusionment, war, working class struggles, like all of those things that were happening post Vietnam War, I guess.
Yeah.
Or even post boom, like post, World War II, I'd say even.
Yeah.
The Great Depression and, struggles, factories closing down. And
Mhm.
so,
Yeah.
So And I'm a massive Billy Joel fan, and I always thought that this album was because of this song, and then because of the other, Goodbye Saigon being a song about Vietnam War, and then Allentown being about, once again,
The industrialization of
yeah,
Allenstown, I think Pennsylvania. Was it
yeah,
Pennsylvania? Yeah, like
yeah,
how factories were closing or was it mining? I can't remember.
yeah, mining,
Mining
yeah, the mining factory, yeah,
in Allentown, but yeah.
yeah,
So I mean, I guess like I mean, this album came out in 1982, right? And the Vietnam War ended in 1975. So I suppose it was like the most recent war on everybody's mind.
yeah. And probably coming into the Cold War, Russia with the Cold War. I think that was the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah, so culturally, a lot going on at the time for Billy Joel to write about. I'm not sure that pressure was, much about any specific historical event, but maybe
No,
about the culture at the time, which we'll get into. But
we will get
let's
into.
get into some interesting tidbits.
Oh, that was very
Yeah,
nice.
do you
Very
like that
nice.
one? That was good.
I did like that one. Yeah. Especially the tidbit.
Yeah.
It's at
Yeah,
the end
yeah.
of it. Yeah, yeah. The trail was a perfect little
Tell you,
trail off. I
I
like
know.
that.
And I reduced the volume
Yeah.
a little too, and it was
Yeah,
sultry.
yeah.
It was great.
It was. Well, I do have an interesting tidbit that can tie into last week's
Go
episode
ahead, caller.
with 9/11. So I'm going to be out of the woodwork just a little
Besham,
bit. I think,
sew
with
it
this.
together for us. Bring it on home.
Oh, we're going.
Okay.
So, Mr. Billy Joel, grown up in the Bronx of New York, a real New Yorker.
Hey, AJ, is this
When-
some 6 degrees
yeah.
of separation shit? Or is this...
No,
okay.
no, more hometown pride.
Okay, talk me through it.
Shit.
Okay,
So,
talk me through it.
being a homegrown New Yorker, when 9/11 all that happened after 9/11, Billy played a lot of several benefit shows for free. And became deeply involved in supporting the recovering efforts in New York. So there's my little bit of tie-in to last week's episode of 9/11 and Billy Joel. Not necessarily pressure, but he did have after 9/11, being a hometown New Yorker, he was heavily involved with everything that it was the efforts of getting it all back up and running for the New Yorkers. Is what they're called, New Yorkers?
I think so. Yeah. So he he was kind of entertaining the troops, so to speak, and
or probably just the locals, just putting.
Yeah.
He's actually the only artist that has played the most shows at Madison Square Garden, which I believe is in New York.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say that he did all of his benefit concerts at Madison Square Garden.
Supporting the relief effort and through benefit concerts and driven by hometown pride.
Yeah.
What a legend.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I know, hey?
Yeah.
So that's my connection to last week's episode. And I'm sticking with it.
In.
That's it.
Well,
That's
Billy
it.
Joel is a far cry from Billy Joe Armstrong.
This is true. It's easy to get the two mixed up. Right.
It's just a trick of the tongue, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah. Those tongue twisters, they get you every
They
time.
do. They do. Well, you must have had Billy Joel on your mind, and I certainly did, because I was fresh off the back of watching the documentary, which is a solid 3 and a bit hours of good entertainment.
He's seen a lot of highs and lows.
He has seen a lot of highs and lows. He really has.
Been through a bit.
Yeah, just a real authentic storyteller.
Yeah, 100%.
And fabulous musician.
Yeah. Well, he's actually he's influences is actually classical music, like, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I haven't seen the documentary, but I would like to think I know enough about Billy Joel, even though I thought the Nylon Curtain was a concept album. So I could be wrong here, but I believe he was like before becoming a pop star, he just played classical music on piano.
Yeah.
Like even though he wasn't actually professionally taught, I believe he was a bit of a self teacher. I didn't know if he had lessons or not, but classical music is his
Yeah.
go to.
I think he had
And you
lessons,
ca-
and both of his parents were musicians who his
That's right,
parents
they
had
were.
met doing, shows, what we would call follies, I suppose. And his father was a classically trained pianist, and I think his mother was a pianist as well. That's what I remember from the document. Look, I could. What,
Yeah.
what,
No,
what,
I would
what
say
are we
you're probably
like?
more correct than I am.
Okay. What are we like? We need to fact check. We need to do a bit more prep, don't we? Uh,
As a musician myself and as a Billy Joel fan, I would have thought. Obviously, I haven't seen the documentary, so I don't know that deep enough about it. But his music, I love his music and all of his albums and his songs. And this is one of my favorite songs out of all of them.
Is
And I
it?
think, yeah, or this album,
Oh,
I
this
think
album.
it's and this and Allentown's probably my other second favorite Billy Joel song. Like Piano Man, I think it's because it's been killed by the radio.
Yeah.
I can't listen to
You're
Piano
not
Man. I'm
into
just like,
it. Yeah.
it's just it's drags on. I get it. It's a biography of his life, and but it's just a boring, dragging song.
You don't love it?
It's no,
Well, it may
no.
be news to
That's
you.
my least favorite. It may be my least favorite
Least
Billy Joel
favorite?
song. Sorry, Billy. Sorry, Billy, if you're listening. But
Yeah. Well, I mean, look,
yeah.
I've got to tell you, this one is my least favorite song.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
I don't love it.
Oh,
I don't love how that synth hook makes me feel. It feels like nails down a chalkboard to me.
really?
I don't love it.
And that's the whole
Well,
point
it
of
is
it.
the whole
That's
point of
why I
it.
love this song so much, because this is his first synth. Like before that, he was purely piano player. So
Yeah.
this is his first foray into 80s synth pop,
Yeah.
and which he thought. And it's funny that you say that, because he actually thought that he was writing like an 80s um like like a new wave song,
Ah.
but actually people didn't like that people like you didn't like that
No.
synth sound. Like they felt like an uneasy feeling.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's so
yeah,
interesting because that synth sound is also, I think the chord progression of it, and the progression, I don't know. I'm not the musician here. I don't really know how to say it, but
yeah,
it sounds very classical music inspired, but it's synth,
it is.
like, it's classical music played in synth. And you're right, it's another one of those songs that creates the feeling through the musicality, through the music. It is creating the feeling of feeling pressured. Uh
Yeah, you feel
you
anxious,
do feel
like and I think
anxious.
because it's like really fast paced, it's
Yeah.
staccato. Yeah, it was him trying to sound modern, but instead it just scared the hell out of
Well,
people.
it sounds like a panic attack put to a synth, It's
It
like
is,
that
yeah,
relentless synth riff is like a anxiety treadmill.
yeah. But it reached 20 on the Billboard's Hottest 100 in
Okay.
1982. It was one of Joel's highest charting rock singles during the MTV boom. Um,
Wow.
it's funny you say that you think it's a classical song, because it is. The song's in E minor, which is a key often associated in classical music with tension and unease. If you think if you know Mozart, like it's very Mozart Requiem. And obviously being a big classical fan, he would have been aware of that effect,
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So the pounding beat is deliberately unrelenting with almost like no musical release.
Yeah.
Like it's just constant. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I'd say, yeah, no, it's just like it's just that's pretty much that throughout the whole song.
And isn't there a guitar riff in there somewhere, like a distorted
Yeah,
guitar kind of
yeah.
layered over the top of it? Yeah, I don't love
I
it.
love the I love the drum sound in that song, like that big snare whack, the ba ba.
Right.
When he says pressure, then the drums follow. It's like that. Bah, bah. I love that every time. Like that is such a cool snare drum sound, gated like 80s drum sound. Love it.
Sounds like it really melts your butter over there, AJ.
I do not feel physically exhausting listening to it where most people might feel physically
Oh
exhausting
yeah,
listening to
no,
it.
it's not the kind of song that you groove along to or dance to.
That's
It's the
funny.
kind of song you
I
flinch
do.
to. I
Really,
flinch.
I do. I totally bop to this. Maybe I've got some issues, but I totally bop to this. Like I have this cranked in the car, like air drumming, like no tomorrow, and now I've even gotten my because there's a song. Uh, if you listen to the lyrics, there's a part in the song where he says like a verbal, not singing, but he goes, "You know what I mean." And that I just love that bit every time. He's like, "Yeah, we do know. I know what you mean. Yeah, you're under pressure, man. I totally know what you mean. I'm feeling you."
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're creating that feeling in me via this song. So,
Yeah,
it's
and
yeah.
yeah.
No, you go.
Oh, I was gonna say, and it's funny. This was the most requested played song live as well, because everyone like, I think because of the intensity of it, people just went
It
nuts.
hyped people up.
It totally hype, yeah.
Yeah.
But he obviously, later on in the years, he played it less live because it's a physically, like vocally, it's a physical song to sing. Like there's a lot of screaming and like
Yeah.
the intensity in the vocals. It'd be a hard song to sing as you get on older in your age.
Yeah, it
Your voice
would.
changes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. The vocal strength, the muscular strength around your vocals that'd be required to deliver this would be tough in your old age. But yeah, no, look, I don't love it. Sorry, Billy Joel. I really appreciate what it's about. And I really appreciate that the reason that I don't love it is because it creates that sensation of feeling pressured inside of me. And that's kind of a feeling that most of us humans, we don't want to experience that. We don't, you know,
funny. I get the complete opposite feel. Where I feel when I listen to this, I actually feel my most less pressured and most relaxed. Like I feel like this song is taking it away from me. Like this is just like put this song all the time. That's funny. Yeah. Well, I don't think it's. People might think it's funny, but I think
maybe,
it's a relaxant for
well,
me. It's a total relaxant.
maybe there's something about that, where Billy Joel's, this song is kind of something that you can channel all of your stress and pressure into. It's being all your stress and pressure is being held by this song. Or
Yeah,
maybe
maybe.
Billy Joel's, kind of constructs within this song reflect your own experience. And so you feel validated, seen, and heard, and that might knock the edge off the stress, tension, and pressure that you might feel by being validated and heard. I don't know. I'm just riffing on it. Few ideas there.
You know what? Now that you say that,
Tell me.
you've turned a light bulb on in my head because this song so the song wrote pressure after people, journalists, anyone kept asking him for advice on life, and he felt completely unqualified and overwhelmed. And the song was basically a way of saying, "Stop asking me. I'm just as stressed as you are." Like, I feel like the '80s and the night, like '80s, was a very stressful time for people. Maybe I don't know. I was an infant in the '80s, but maybe adults in the '80s, is quite stressful, and people were like looking towards other people for answers on how to release that stress. And
Yeah. So what does it mean for
as
you?
I think back in my earlier years, I used to have a lot of friends that would come to me ask, well, I know we've talked about this in previous episodes, being friend zoned by a lot of friends,
Yes.
asking me for advice on what they should do with their life and relationships. And I'm
Ah.
like, I don't know. You got one standing right here. I
You got a
can't give you an
nice guy
answer.
right here. Yeah.
That's right.
Right.
So now that you've mentioned all of that, my brain's just going, oh yeah, that's probably why I love this song so much.
Because you related.
Because subconsciously, my brain's like, yeah, man, yeah, we've been there. We feel you, Billy. We've been there.
Yeah, you've been feeling under a lot of pressure and strain to have the answers when you don't have the answers.
But my front brain's just like, no, this is just a really, really effing cool song.
Right. But your unconscious says something different, and we bought your unconscious conscious. I should be a therapist. What do you
Wow.
reckon?
Maybe don't quit your day job
Okay,
just
fair
yet.
enough. But there's
And I think,
something very overt about this song in terms of the actual pressures. You were sort of talking, you said you didn't really know what was going on in the 80s, but this was kind of the height of the Reagan era, consumerism, Wall Street, like
it was,
corporatization, move away from industrialization to corporatization, knowledge-based industries rather than production based. So things, the sands of the economy, economical structures were sort of shifting at this time. So and I think that given that it's a synth heavy production, actually is a really nice parallel to that, because it's kind of a cultural metaphor saying machines are running your life now.
yeah. Now that it feels like a very American Psycho,
Yes.
like that 80s corporate, well, and I'm sure if you haven't seen American Psycho, oh my God, you're living under a rock.
Yeah. Or read the book. The
but
book came first by
book.
Bret Easton
The
Ellis.
book did come first.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's that 80s, the corporate life in the 80s, and having to be the best of the best of the best.
That's right. Yeah. And, amass
And
wealth
pressure.
and a lot of pressure. Sure.
And getting away with anything and everything.
Sure. But I think Billy Joel might be speaking about I think it is like a cultural commentary, but I think that there's some personal things that he's speaking about here. But, we'll get to that in a minute if there's more interesting tidbits.
I think we're good.
Yeah, we're good with the tidbits.
I think we are good with the Billy Joel's we could talk about Billy Joel for days, but I'm focusing more on this song and primarily this album. He's, like I said, he's been through heaps. From marrying models.
Yeah. Before that, he had. So, okay, can I give you my interesting tidbits? Is that okay?
Please go ahead. Yeah.
I mean, I kind of think this speaks to the pressure. I think he might have, around the early 80s, been going through a divorce with a woman who was his manager. And this album, yeah. So he was, detaching from her, and the management was taken over by her brother. And it came out later on that her brother was actually taking a lot of cream off the top, pretty much robbing Billy Joel blind. So I think there's, a lot of pressure around that.
Yeah,
But also, you had a lot of people on the payroll and a lot of musicians, amassed a lifestyle that he'd become accustomed to and experienced writer's block. And so there was a lot of pressure.
Sure. Or even just, his band that he toured with, he treated them like equals, and then management's telling why you should be paying them as a fill-in band, not as an actual, it's Billy Joel, not the Billy Joel band. So even his bandmates got a a little screwed over there as well. Not by Billy personally, but the influence of, you know, the managers going, hey, you can make more money because you are Billy Joel by not paying your bandmates equally. Just treat them as a session musician band.
Right. Well, there you go. And
Yeah.
that must have been a lot of pressure for Billy because, yeah, I mean, I suppose we can only speculate what it's like to be a front person, to be the boss, really, that you actually rely on the rest of the band. You know, they're like your employees, right? You rely on them for your success. They are your backbone. And so that he probably felt very conflicted. He probably, you know, we can only speculate how torn he must have felt that he was having to elevate himself and maybe anticipate how that might change the dynamics. Uh, you know, I'm sure from watching the documentary, he seems like a really nice guy who loved his people
Yeah, absolutely.
and was
Yeah.
relying on them. And I guess that, you know, if he's being told by his management to, you know, switch down their payments a bit and, you know, stop treating them like equals, he must have felt very conflicted about that. He must have felt really bad. So probably just one of the many things that was a lot of pressure for Billy Joel at the time.
And probably another pressure that I'm sure a lot of people of the 80s wish they had this pressure. So I don't know if you knew that he was actually dating Elle Macpherson as kind of at the same time as Christy Brinkley, but then he chose Christy over Elle Macpherson.
Well, the story the documentary tells, just
Oh, okay, 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 all right.
sorry,
I need to
AJ.
really watch this documentary.
really-
No, that's fine. Hey, look.
Yeah, so
That's fine.
I can't remember where they were all located, but it turns out that Christy Brinkley and Elle Macpherson were at a place doing
Yeah.
the Sports Illustrated photo shoot, and Billy and
Of
his
course.
entourage were visiting that same place, and they're in a bar, and Elle Macpherson was pouring a lot of attention on Billy, but Billy had his gaze set to Christy Brinkley. So yes, it was, he only had eyes for Christy. Elle Macpherson, you know, shot her shot, so to speak. But Christy won the day. So there, I don't think there was any dating. There was just
Right. Okay.
flirtation, potentially. Look, I wasn't
Flirtations.
there. There was,
Who
you
knows?
know, quests for attention. But Billy only had eyes for Christy. So that was the story in the documentary.
And then she appeared on his film clip The Longest Time.
Or was it Uptown Girl?
Sorry, Uptown Girl.
Uptown.
Same album, though.
Same album.
Man, I'm bombing on these tidbits, aren't I? Jeez.
I think we're gonna have to.
What
I
is
think
this?
we're gonna have to review a contract.
Oh my god! And I'm a Billy Joel fan. What is this?
Well, and I'm a documentary fan, so you know that's cool. And this is why
That's
this is why
fine.
we have Correction Corner, because you know, like we
That's
don't
it.
we don't live the artists' lives. We only know stuff that we read on the internet or see in documentaries.
That's it.
We weren't there,
Yep.
so that's the disclaimer. So if we get it wrong, send us to Correction Corner. All three of you that are listening. That's probably why we're not getting any correction corners. It's not enough listeners. Not enough listeners at the moment, but hopefully there will be. Anywho, let's talk about pressure.
Yes.
So yeah, released in 82, culturally
Yep.
really, you know, like it kind of really speaking to that consumerist kind of culture. What sat underneath that consumerist culture is, you know, the bids to amass wealth and a lot of pressure to do so. You know, I think you know, Billy Joel says you have to learn to pace yourself. Pressure. He's saying, you know,
No, you have to do it properly. Pressure.
pressure.
That's how he sings. Pressure.
Pressure.
You have to learn to pace yourself. Pressure.
That's right. That's what he says.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I mean, well, let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about what pressure actually is. My sense of things, and I mean, pressure is associated with stress. Stress is the outcome of pressure. And I think pressure is when the demands of the environment outweigh the resources to meet the demands of the environment. You got 1980s consumerism. The demands of the environment are saying buy, buy, buy. And
Yeah.
and if you don't have the resources, man, if there's a lot of pressure to have money to buy, and there's just a lot of pressure to perform, so you can amass that wealth. So pressure is, I think, when there's too much demand and not enough resource. So when Billy Joel is saying you have to learn to pace yourself. Over to you, AJ. Sing it. Sing. Yeah. I think he's saying, listen, hey, champ, listen to me. Burnout's real. And if you don't
Yeah.
and if you don't pace yourself, with all of these demands, trying to meet these demands, if you don't pace yourself, you are going to burn out. You're going to burn to a crisp. It's going to be nothing left of you. You're going to get into shutdown mode. So, yeah, that's what Billy's saying. Just slow down. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, he's saying, just take a few deep breaths, namaste. But he's saying that he's saying that in screaming neon lights.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
Pressure.
What? Pressure. Well, these are his darkest lyrics, like today. Like, they're so dark, these lyrics. So, but at the same time, I always found the line, Channel 13, Sesame Street. What does it mean? I just commend someone that puts Sesame Street in a dark lyric, like in a dark lyric song about pressure. Like,
Well, I think there's some meaning in that. If we could
yes,
just
please.
put a little psychological spin on that one.
Elmo loves you.
I think what is well, yeah, there is that. And how did Big Bird get it so wrong with Snuffleupagus, right? They were never in the same place at the same time. Yeah. Do I remember that correctly?
But Bert and Ernie were.
Yes, they were. They were in the same place at the same time, having a
Same bedroom. Separate beds, but same bedroom.
right. Correct. No. Anywho, Sesame Street was very progressive for its time. So very progressive and accepting. But anyway, I think what Billy Joel is saying with the lyric "All Your Life is Channel 13, Sesame Street, what does it mean?" I think what he's saying is, like, when we are stressed and we're in a super stressed state, what can happen is we can kind of regress to sort of a childlike state under stress. So, I don't know. I think the modern day version of that is like bed rotting and watching like your favorite old TV show over and over again. We just regressing under stress. Maybe that's what it means. I don't know. But maybe if we're on Sesame Street, Elmo might be saying, today's episode is brought to you by the letter P for pressure or panic attack.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But it's funny during that lyric in the film clip that's because if you watch the film clip, throughout the middle of it, it goes from Billy to like Billy as a child, going through going through a maze and he can't find the end, and then he gets stuck in a TV and he's like, "Help, get me out."
What do you think that means?
Well, I think that's relating to the whole, you're in a child stuck watching, all you want to do is just go back and watch Kids shows because that was probably a safe and happy place and happy time for you.
right? Where there was no pressure.
Sure.
Okay, we got to stop. People are going to switch off
No,
now.
no, absolutely
Can't
not.
stop, won't
That
stop.
new drinking game listeners, take a shot every time we hear pressure.
They're drunk already. Yeah. So I think Billy's also saying you're just like everybody else. It is a basic reminder of, the universality and commonality between all of us of stress. He's trying to normalize it. He's and I wonder, just like we spoke about earlier with you, through that normalization and that, holding up a mirror to your own experience, maybe you feel validated, and feel empathized with. So everybody experiences, I'm not going to say it and I'm not going to allow you to say it. Okay, you say it. Go on.
Pressure.
Everyone experiences that. I'm not going to say it.
No, no, we all experience it. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, and the line, we're the only thing you feel are loaded guns in your face. Like that's a whole fight or flight scenario, isn't it? What are you going to do if someone points a gun at you? They're going to
Yeah,
try and fight back,
totally.
or just
Yeah.
accept the trigger being pulled.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's I suppose it's a metaphor for modern times, a modern inbox, 47 unread emails.
That's it.
13
No-
Teams pings and a Teams call jingle going on in the background, and
yeah,
and
yeah.
Karen asking you, can you just hop on a quick call?
Yeah, that's right.
So
Yeah, that's right.
That's
I need this done yesterday.
that's all the modern day loaded guns in your face,
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that this is sort of tapping into, fight or flight, particularly in the consumerist modern times in the workplace where, we've got to focus on amassing wealth and getting the job done and climbing the corporate ladder. And, maybe that beat, that pneumatic drill of a synth beat is kind of mimicking, the fight or flight cortisol spikes, stress hormone spikes in our body. Yeah, I know.
um,
But oftentimes we go into fight or flight, I think, when we unconsciously, particularly in the workplace, right? We get
yeah,
into fight or flight because the demands of the environment are outweighing the resources, and unconsciously we start to spiral, and we're like, our nervous system is like, well, if I can't meet these demands, then I'm going to be out of a job and I'm going to be homeless. Well, I mean, I'm going to be out of a job. I won't be able to pay my bills or my rent or my mortgage. I won't be able to feed myself. And then I'm going to become homeless. And then I'm going to, not be able to wash my clothes or, prepare for job interviews, get clean. I think your mind unconsciously spirals to the fact that, like, I'm not going to be able to meet my basic needs. Yeah, so
yeah,
that's why your nervous system anticipates, right, okay, this pressure, and this is why it goes into fight flight, this pressure is going to actually compromise my ability to meet my basic needs. So
yeah.
it
That's right.
releases stress hormone, and there is a facilitative amount of anxiety. There's an amount of anxiety that doesn't impair your performance. We need a little bit of anxiety to motivate us, but when it tips over the edge, it impairs our performance. So,
Yeah,
too much pressure is putting us in a state of hypervigilance, and we can't perform, and therefore our nervous system is anticipating failure and landing in the gutter, and so we're just getting full of cortisol and stress, which is the stress hormone, We're in that sympathetic nervous system response of fight, flight, or freeze. Sometimes we freeze. Regression is a little bit of a freeze where we bed rot and we're watching our favorite sitcom back to back. Yeah. So,
Bit of binge watching.
bit of binge watching to potentially soothe the nervous system, right? It's a nice way.
It's almost like binge drinking. It's like, well, I don't drink, but I binge watch. I sit on the couch in my pajamas and I binge watch.
Both are rather
know.
maladaptive and ways of managing our feelings. Probably
Yeah.
drinking is more maladaptive than binge watching. At least with binge watching, you're not likely to make any impulsive decisions or drink
No.
and dial an ex-lover. You
No.
shouldn't.
But generally, if you're binge watching, you've got ice cream, chocolate.
True.
You
You might be
know,
eating your feelings at the same time.
Mm.
Yeah. Pressure will do that to you. It'll put you into maladaptive coping strategies, won't it? Yeah. And therefore, you may be either getting drunk, wasting time, getting fat. Or, if you're one of those people with awesome metabolisms, you'll just be increasing your cholesterol.
I was gonna say, what's my excuse then? That's-
Well, also there is a distinct link between pressure, stress, cortisol, and heart plaque on your heart. Like if you're in,
Oh, okay.
yes, stress is strongly linked to heart disease.
It's a killer.
It's a killer. Yeah. So we gotta do what we can to manage all of this. Take it away, AJ.
Hold on. Yeah.
That's it. That's what we gotta do is manage
So-
the pressure.
Pressure. Yeah.
Yeah.
No wonder he plays that song less live. He's probably sick of saying that word over and over with that intensity of it. He's probably like, I'm sick of this.
It probably is. But I think there's some positive themes here, though. I think, Billy's tapping into something that's like, he's letting us all know that we're not alone, right? It's a shared humanity here. It's a bit of group therapy.
I think he's just trying to tell us as well that just because I'm famous, or a musician, I don't have the answers to life.
No.
I'm just like you. I get up and I put my shoe on one foot at a time.
Right? I'm just like you.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
That's it.
There you
So,
go. Oh, is that
yeah,
our first on-air
yeah.
sneeze?
No, it was a cough.
Oh, it was a cough.
It was our first on-air cough.
Sideline Sally might have to mute that. No, it's all right. I'm pretty sure we're not the only.
The pressure's getting to me. I'm like, I can't.
I'm pretty sure.
Too much.
I'm pretty sure we're not the only rough podcast out there with a few.
No, that's it.
With a few coughs and splutters and
That's it.
yeah. So the positive things, I think what Billy's tapping into there is that kind of shared human experience. He's holding a mirror up to that, letting us know that we're not alone. He's sort of, letting us know that you can release your internal chaos, right? Like you can sing about it and you can scream about it, let it out. Like, sort of, what is it? Like the valve, you can pop off the valve or you can release the pressure by
Release the tension.
Release the tension. Yeah. So, I think, if this song was I don't know, a diagnosis. I think if we could diagnose
or a patient on the couch.
A patient on the couch, I think that this guy's definitely got generalized anxiety disorder, which is typified by excessive worry, difficulty controlling your worry, hypervigilance, fight or flight, like restlessness and keyed up energy, and irritability. sort of, yeah, that stuff in this song. To
Don't ask me, I don't know. Don't come to me. I'm not. Don't ask me, I don't know. Just leave me alone.
is that what the song's saying? Is that too much pressure? Leave me alone. I'm experiencing all of these symptoms because of
Yeah.
the pressure. I did it that time. I did it that time. Probably out of key.
I don't want your Peter Pan advice. I don't want just leave me alone. Just let me do my thing.
Just leave me alone. I'm in struggle town already. There is too many demands on me and not enough resources. So, but I think that this
we didn't start the fire, all right?
we
didn't start the fire.
start the fire. That's on a different album though, isn't it?
Yeah,
a lot later.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this patient is going to do a lot of catastrophizing. They're going to the machine guns in your face. That's a good hint at the catastrophizing. It's not a machine gun in your face, mate. It's just 47 unread emails. It's okay. And yeah, I think there's some goals that we could work on with this patient. Really might be just reducing that physiological arousal, just bringing down that fight flight mode. We might use some deep breathing. We might use some grounding techniques that just sort of stop them yelling out pressure all the time.
You know what I'm going to do, Mo? I'm going to blast this song all the way home tonight. I'm going to put the windows down, and so all of the town can hear this song.
Good. You should do that. You should share the. You should share the
Totally
gift with everyone but me, because
I will share the pressure with everyone.
Everyone but me, because I feel that physiological agitation.
Sickness?
Yes, inside of my body, just from that synth riff, like that does me in. So
yeah, right.
yeah. So, as a therapy patient, Billy Joel's pressure, it's going to be all right. We're going to help it ground itself through some deep breathing, and maybe I will prescribe some yoga poses and some deep breathing, but it's gonna be all right. We're gonna help it develop some resilience in the workplace.
We'll relax some of those pressure points on the body.
We're gonna
release some of those pressure points.
Do you know what? You know how we can release pressure points is we can actually say to this song, we can say, you know what? What's one thing you could take off your plate? What's one thing that you could push back on in your workplace or your life? What's one thing that you could relegate to someone else? For me, it's like getting in a cleaner. I got no time or space to clean my own house. That's too much pressure for me, so I pay a guy.
I thought you were going to say one thing you take off the plate is not listening to this song ever again.
I think that is, I think that is one thing I'm going to do is never listen to this song again. I don't love it. Look, I do really appreciate Billy Joel. Not a massive fan. Appreciate his work. Really, a great songwriter, tapping into I suppose, the populace and what was culturally important at the time of writing his music. I really respect anyone that can turn what's happening socially into really good, catchy tunes. It's a catchy tune. I just don't happen to love it.
We should do get Sideline Sally to do a poll for our listeners, and we'll see who likes it and who doesn't like it, and see who wins.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know I'm going to lose. That's fine. I'm happy to run my own race here. That's totally fine.
Listen,
we'll see.
We'll see, but I don't know. I think it was of an era. And I think if any, younger listeners are listening, I'm pretty sure you're going to lose, because I don't know that it's transferred very well across time. But that's just my perception. I could be. We'll see. I could be wrong.
We still have pressure in 2025, so you never know. There could be that. Hey, I can still relate to it, and it's
Yeah.
2025.
We
So
probably have a lot more pressure in 2025, particularly for young people and careers and, the way that the world is changing and knowledge industries are kind of being tapped into by AI. And, there's a bit of pressure for the young folk. And of course, let's not talk about the housing crisis. Let's not talk about how difficult it is and how privileged you have to be to break into the property market, not just in Australia, but across the world,
anywhere, yeah, anywhere really.
everywhere. So
Yep.
that you're right. There is, I think the themes stay the same, but maybe the musical taste shifts.
Oh yes, of course. You have to have a taste. Of course, you
Yeah.
have. Look.
The
You know
trends
my taste.
shift.
I'm stuck in that trend. So
Yeah.
I'm happy to live in that 80s synth
Genre.
world.
Yes. That's
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. No, I hear you.
Yes.
This is one thing that we have come to know and love about you, AJ, is yeah,
Yes.
he's stuck in the 70s and the 80s.
Yes.
I've emerged a little bit beyond that. I've evolved a little bit beyond that, but
Look, I have two, but I still have a love.
yeah, you
I
do.
have two.
You do. Well, you
Yes.
can stay there, mate. So it's all yours.
I'll stay with Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Pressure is my Sesame
Yeah,
Street.
and
I'll digress.
I'll be here in 2025 with Bluey.
Sounds good. That's
Well,
it.
on that note, mate, no more pressure to do this.
No more.
To do this podcast. All right.
Our lips are
Lips
sealed.
are sealed. We are done with Billy Joel pressure. But next time, I'm not sure. You and we'll take it offline, as the kids
Well,
say.
I was going to give some hints of the
Oh,
next
go ahead,
episode.
caller.
Well, okay. Well, hi, first time listener, long time listener, first time caller.
Correct.
Well, this song is from the 90s, and it's the intro is quite a cappella-ish, and the artist's name is of a famous popular mammal from the Antarctic regions.
Alrighty. Okay.
That's all I'll say. Thank you. Hanging up now. Goodbye.
Thank you, caller. Until next time.
Until next time.
See you then.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Songs on the Couch. We hope you enjoyed putting today's song under the microscope with us.
And hey, the conversation doesn't have to end here. Join us over on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search Songs on the Couch, where we're sharing behind-the-scene clips, more fun music insights, and of course, chatting with you all.
And if you're an artist, musician, psychologist, counsellor, psychotherapist, or know someone who'd love to sit on the couch with us, have your management reach out. We'd love to hear from you at hello@songsonthecouch.com.
Follow us, subscribe, and let's keep rocking out together. Catch you next time on Songs on the Couch.